Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram. Of this one, this side. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Hari Om to everybody.
This video is off because Swamiji is not there.
Oh?
Swami, this I think we should make this.
Oh, yeah, it's not. It's gone off. Video's gone off. Swamiji, they are not hearing this.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om Swamiji.
What is the topic today? When we were coming for this satsang, we were prompted to go through some of the words of Swami Chidanand Maharaj about idealism. When the President of India decided to visit Divine Life Society way back, we don't know which year, this message was given by Puja Swami Chidanand Maharaj. In that, he tries to bring out the importance of holding on to idealism. Beautifully brought out. We will just read a few lines. We were speaking of preparing to receive the Most High. Presently, the entire ashram is engaged in the facelifting, cleaning, scrubbing, painting, in order to receive an important secular dignitary. How much more, 100-fold, 1,000-fold should be a similar house cleaning and preparation within the personality of the spiritual seeker, of the sadhaka, of the yogi, in order to prepare for the advent of the Supreme Being, the cosmic spirit, the universal soul, into one's own life. When a dignitary visits, we make a lot of preparatory steps, cleaning everything, making it as impressive as possible. So Swamiji is reminding us what all we should do to make us aware of His presence within us. What does this preparation mean? What does it imply? The preparation means and implies becoming in our own being a replica or the likeness of the Supreme Being whom we wish to receive. The preparation means and implies becoming in our own being a replica or the likeness of the Supreme Being whom we wish to receive, experience, enter into, and become established in. When a secular dignitary, a president comes, we try to duplicate the conditions to which his high status has accustomed him. We give him the best building, make it spick and span. We change the furniture, we roll out the red carpet. We may not be able to exactly duplicate either in scale or quality what he has been accustomed to. Nevertheless, we go out of our way to bring the very best we have. That is what we can do. Similarly, the human individual soul should rise to the ultimate height it is capable of. He says, "This is the best I can do, O Lord. I shall try to shine with the divinity to the limit of my capacity. I shall try to make myself spiritual in every respect to the limit of my capacity." This is what the Srimad Bhagavad Gita admonishes. Eradicate asuric qualities, cultivate, develop and manifest divine qualities. Try to be as much like God as it is possible for you to be within the limits of your own capacity. Each one has a ceiling limit. And God only expects each one of us to do our ultimate best and leave it in His hands. But if we do not try to do our ultimate best, if we fail to do our ultimate best, then we fail. We do not answer the requirements. We do not rise up to the expectation. We are not perfect in yoga. We do not display yoga karmasu kaushalam. If we do not put forth what is expected of us, what is within our capacity, then we fail to meet the requirement. God does not expect us to become a Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. God does not expect us to become a Chaitanya Gauranga Mahaprabhu, or a Mirabai, or a Prahlada, or a Dhruva, or a Markandeya, or a Bhagiratha. But He does expect us to try our best to approximate them within our own self, within the limits of our own capacity. We may not become a Ramana Maharshi, but we may try to grow in the qualities that made him what he was. We may not be in a position to have the self-sacrifice of a Ravana who cut off his head and sacrificed it to Lord Shiva, but we must grow in self-sacrifice and self-denial. We may not become a Saint Francis of Assisi, but we may try to emulate. This is what is expected of each one of us, having lived before us. They have left footprints on the sands of time. Therefore, try to emulate. We may not be able to duplicate them in scale and quality, but we can try to emulate. That is the very meaning of idealism. We keep a lofty ideal, try to emulate that ideal. Try to be as non-violent as Mahatma Gandhi. Try to be as studious as Vinoba Bhave. Try to be as brave as Meera. Try to be as patient as others who waited and prayed, who waited long and prayed. Trying to be like an ideal we set before us is the hallmark of a sadhaka and a seeker. Lives of great men oft remind us that we can make our lives sublime. Never lower your ideal. Even if you cannot approximate it in every way, do not lower your ideal and say, I shall try my level best. But do not lower your ideal. Do not compromise. Do not dilute your spirituality. Aim for the stars. Swami Krishnananda used to say, it is better to aim at a lion and miss it than to aim at a jackal and hit it. Try to become like God. Try to walk the earth like God. This is what idealism means. Trying to become as brave as Bose. Trying to become as self-sacrificing as Florence Nightingale. Trying to become as truthful as Harishchandra. Try to become as patient as Buddha. Try to become as compassionate as Christ. In this way, you may then become something. At least you can become the best of what you are capable of becoming. And that is not a mean achievement. That is not an ordinary thing. If you are a diamond, shine like the best diamond. If you are a ruby, shine like the best ruby. If you are an emerald, shine like the best emerald. An emerald is not expected to shine like a diamond. A ruby may not be like an emerald, but it can be a best ruby. In the same way, be a tyagi, be a virakta, be a yogi, be a bhakta, be a jnani, be a viveki, be a vicharashila, be a self-controlled being, be a samyami. We expect in God peace. We expect in God harmony, where all things meet together and are balanced, where there is perfect silence. And there is great beauty in that harmony and silence. There is peace, and where there is peace, there is joy. Try to be all this. Try to have a harmonious nature. Try to harmonize with others. Try to harmonize with life around you. Try to harmonize with conditions. If I go on harmonizing with others, if I adapt, adjust, accommodate, where will I be? I will become a sifer. Beautiful. If I go on harmonizing with others, if I adapt, adjust, accommodate, Where will I be? I will become a sifer. That is exactly what Vedanta wants you to be. Vedanta wants you to disappear. Disappear means efface, It wants you to reduce yourself to a cipher. Become a nothing. That is the highest good. Losing yourself, you gain the whole universe. You gain the all. Holding on to yourself, you lose everything. He who gives up his life will attain everlasting life. He who clings to his life will enter into the spiritual death. This is the paradox of spiritual life. Those who want to cling to the life of this little I, they enter into spiritual death. Those who die to the little I, they inherit everlasting life. Therefore, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, lesser than a blade of grass, more forbearing than a tree, more forbearing than a tree which bears heat, cold, rain, sun, dust, everything, and yet continues to give shade, flowers, fruits itself. Lesser than a blade of grass, more forbearing than a tree, more forbearing than a tree which bears heat, cold, rain, sun, dust, everything, and yet continues to give shade, flowers, fruits itself. It bears everything, yet goes on giving of its abundance. It gives to those who tend it. It also gives to those who take an axe to cut it. Cut off, or even lay an axe to its root, till the very end it continues to give. Blessed are the meek, the humble in spirit, for they shall inherit the kingdom of heaven. When you keep loose, what you renounce, you get. A poet has said, he who has renounced desires, who wants nothing, is an emperor of emperors. Gurudev was such an emperor of emperors. We saw in him the forbearing nature referred to by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We saw in him the humility of something lesser than a blade of grass. We saw him literally fulfill the third quarter, ever rejoicing in giving respect and reverence to others. Thus it is that one tries to approximate in spirituality, in divinity, in godly qualities, that nature which we attribute to God. Lord Krishna washed the feet of the sages and the august guests who came to attend Rajasuya Yajna of Yudhishthira. He also acted as an ordinary chariot driver for his own disciple Arjuna. And being a chariot driver meant at the end of the day you had to wash the horses down, cleanse their wounds. And he performed this function publicly within the gaze of thousands of army men who may have smiled in derision, made fun of him. He did not mind. It was not just a passing incident. He worked as a driver of the chariot for 18 days from sunrise to sunset. Most of us would have heard about, read about Bhagavad Gita, but has this point stuck to us? He acted as an ordinary chariot driver for his own disciple Arjuna. And being a chariot driver meant that at the end of the day you have to wash the horses down and cleanse their wounds. And he performed this function publicly within the gaze of thousands of army men who may have smiled in derision, made fun of him. He did not mind. It was not just a passing incident. He worked as a driver of the chariot for 18 days from sunrise to sunset. Lord Krishna also washed the feet of his poverty-stricken boyhood schoolmate and friend whose wife had compelled him to go to Krishna. If you don't want to go for yourself, go for your starving family. He is a king, he is rich, he can give you anything that you want. Clad in rags, poor, humble, penniless, famished, he approaches the palace. When Lord Krishna hears that he has come, he rushes out to greet him. He does not send a servant, but he himself receives him, takes him by the hand, offers him his own personal seat, and takes a lesser seat. How easily we tend to forget these well-known but little remembered incidents. They are of the very essence in the spiritual quest, in the spiritual life. They may not be meant for the generality of readers and devotees, but they are specially meant for sadhakas. And he demonstrated it by giving his life. Overnight, one does not become a god. Growing into God nature is not a miracle. It is not a revolution. In rare exceptional cases, 1 in a million it may be. Otherwise, it is an evolutionary process, slow, steady, by day and by night, and even as the petals of the flower bed gradually unfold in the silence of the night, unfelt, unobserved, unseen by man, one grows into divinity over a period of time through patient effort, unremitting, persevering effort, through sincerity and earnestness, through longing, through deep yearning for it, through much prayer and supplication at the feet of God. Vigilant among the heedless, wakeful among the slumbering, diligent among the indolent, ever actively striving, climbing up, step by step, among the lethargic and the lazy who rest by the wayside, the yogi, the sadhaka, and the devotee of God make their life fruitful in attainment. That is called sadhana, that is called spiritual life. And start where you are. Harmonize with your own spiritual family, amongst whom God has ordained that you must live for your evolution. The condition that God has given you are the very best for you. He knows best, therefore He has given you what is your necessity. This is a truth that has to be recognized. It requires humility to recognize the truth that God is right. I may be wrong. I may not understand. But God knows. And if He wants to change it, He knows how to. We need not be anxious that God may forget or that He may make a mistake. Thus, make use of the conditions He has given you. Harmonize with your environment. Harmonize and cultivate love for the beings amongst whom, in His infinite wisdom, love and justice, He has placed you. If He wanted to do something else, He has the power in Him to do it, for He is omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. One does not have to invite Him. Look here, I am in a situation, please come and take care of it. There is no coming for God. He is in the middle of the situation already. You may call out to Him, but you don't have to invite Him. He is already there. Therefore, in every factor that constitutes your present here and now situation, start exercising loving kindness, patience, forbearance, tolerance, harmony, prayerfulness, and a keen appreciation of that which you have. These are the ingredients of victory, of conquest, of overcoming, of spiritual strength. Then more shall be given. To him who hath, more shall be given. For he has recognized the worth of what he has and has started to enrich himself thereby. Then God says, yes, he has understood his worth. Let me give more. And you will be filled until you overflow. This servant of the master does not say all these things. It has been stated. Therefore, he brings you the wisdom of the ages that belongs to you, which you have inherited as a child of the 20th century. What is yours is being brought to you. For often we ignore, we fail to focus upon what we have. We forget, we neglect, we bypass. It needs to be restored to your life's central place once again. Therefore, that is what is being done by the will of the Lord, morning after morning. You are getting what belongs to you. that which you have perhaps forgotten or have failed to recognize the value of. Thus it is that God makes Himself and His love manifest in your life. This you must recognize. Knowledge is God's love. Trials and tribulations are God's love. Scope for evolution is God's love. Facilities for spiritual progress is God's love. Life on the bank of Ganga is God's love. Life in Shivanandashram is God's love. Life with the possibility of practicing yoga and Vedanta and Karma Yoga and meditation is God's love. His abundant love, His great love, it is His wealth also. The chance to utter His name is God's love. And more than anything else, spiritual fellowship and with fellow sadhakas and devotees, such as you are at the moment experiencing, is God's great love. Is it ordinary to be put in the company of spiritual people, seekers, sadhakas, yogis, devotees of the Lord, lovers of righteousness, and people with idealism and sattvic tendencies? It is heaven on earth. It is a gift of God. It is His abundant love being showered upon you. I close by saying, He that hath ears, let him hear. He that hath eyes, let him see. Seek, you will find. God bless you all. He has already blessed you. May He bless you to recognize His blessings. God bless you all. He has already blessed you. May He bless you to recognize His blessings. May He bless you to feel the abundance of His love and blessings enveloping you from all sides. God bless you to know how richly endowed you are and enable you to recognize these endowments, to rejoice in them, and to put them to the very highest and the best use. This is a very inspiring article. Out of this, 2.5 to 3 pages, when we hear, when we read, what does it touch and kindle in us? Any word? Huh? Never lower the ideal. Yes. Then? Huh? Huh? God's love for us. Every moment we have to become conscious. Then?
Humility from
Huh?
Lord Krishna. Humility and compassion.
Lord Krishna's humility and His compassion.
God's love when you chant His name.
God's love when we chant His name.
God's love, how He has facilitated us to chant His name. Good. Again, some more important points are there.
If I adjust, accommodate, I'll become a cipher.
Huh?
If I adjust and accommodate, I'll become a cipher.
If I adjust and accommodate myself,
And others.
if I adjust and accommodate others, I become a cipher. Yes? What is that sound?
Gauri Shankar. Uncle, Gauri Shankar, uncle. Some sound.
Hariom. Spiritual quest, spiritual life for sadhakas is not a miracle. It's slow, steady,
Overnight.
day and night.
Good. Anything else?
Swamiji, it is not done by us. It is already charted out for us.
Pardon?
is not, the spiritual quest is not done by us, it is already done for us.
It is not done by us, it's already done for us.
The necessary thing. Okay. Then,
God is ready to take the lowest role possible for a devotee.
God is ready to take the lowest role for the sake of devotee.
Sri Krishna, no? God is prepared to take the lowest role to show us, nothing is lowest or highest. Then,
Lord Krishna washes the feet of his friends. Thereby the humility is on the forefront.
yeah. Then, that has been covered, yes. The whole article started with what?
Vedanta wants us to
Do
become a
what
zero.
is best.
That is, with
Ultimate, we have to do
idealism.
our ultimate best.
Vedanta wants us to be started like that. Yes.
No, when a dignitary is planning to come,
Chidanand Maharaj.
when a dignitary,
The President of India has come, any dignitary comes.
so that means we will try to make it as best, as possible.
As spiritual seeker of the sadhaka.
So that means, so similarly, when I say I want to become one with you, I must also try to do as much
Yes.
preparatory steps
Where the
as possible.
preparatory steps must be there.
And so he says, in that respect, if we don't prepare, the Lord may come. He may come, he may not come, but we will feel bad in spite of it if he does not come. Because there is some preparation. We don't mean that material preparation. Vivekananda, when he was Narendranath, he composed a beautiful song which was translated into Malayalam, and we all learned it when we were children. You know what the theme of the song is? How many days I have to wait for you? എത്ര നാൾ ഇങ്ങനെ കാത്തിരിക്കുന്നു ഞാൻ, വ്യർത്ഥമായിടുമോ ജീവിതം ഈശ്വര? Will it become a waste? ലോകങ്ങൾക്കെല്ലാം അധീശനാണ് അങ്ങുന്ന്. You are the Lord of the universe. കേവലം ഞാനൊരു നിസ്സാര ജീവിയും. I am the most insignificant being. സാധുവാം എന്നുടെ ചിത്തത്തിനുള്ളിൽ അങ്ങയെ വാഴിക്കുവാനുള്ള മോഹം വൃഥാവിലോ. I know you are the Lord of the universe and I am a tiny little insignificant being. But still I have developed an yearning that you should come and stay in my kutia, in my mind, ചിത്തത്തിൽ. കൊള്ളരുതാത്തൊരു, this is very important, touching. കൊള്ളരുതാത്തൊരു പാഴ്ക്കൂടിയിലെങ്കിലും I know that this house is not fit for you, for the Lord of the universe. This is unfit. I know that. കൊള്ളരുതാത്തൊരു പാഴ്ക്കൂടിയിലെങ്കിലും ആശയോടെ ചിത്തം നോക്കുന്നത് അങ്ങേ. I cannot provide you more. I am incapable of adding anything more, because this is my limit. And I am providing what is possible for me. സാധുവാം എന്നുടെ ചിത്തത്തിനുള്ളിൽ അങ്ങയെ വാഴിക്കുവാനുള്ള മോഹം വൃഥാവിലോ. കൊള്ളരുതാത്തൊരു പാഴ്ക്കൂടിയിലെങ്കിലും ആശയോടെ ചിത്തം നോക്കുന്നിതങ്ങയെ. And finally he says, ഔദ്ധത്യം എന്നത് തോന്നരുത് ഈശ്വര. Don't stand on any formalities, no. Even if you cannot stay on a permanent basis for a longer time, at least why don't you come and visit and go? അല്പമെന്നാകിലും വിശ്രമം കൊള്ളുകിൽ ധന്യമാം എന്നുടേ ജീവിതം ഓർക്കണി. Even if you stay for a little while, I will become enriched, I will become blessed. You can just imagine the mindset of knowing fully. That's what Swami Chidanand Maharaj says. We may not be able to do anything, but we can try to approximate. What is best? We cannot become a Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. We cannot become a Ramana Maharshi. We cannot become a Mirabai, but we can do it in our own way. Nobody need think, I am not qualified, I cannot do that. No. So it gives us an assurance. With all my limitations, with all my flaws, still He has not left me. He is still with me. I am to recognize Him, that's all. I don't deserve to be saved. Chidanand in his beautiful prayer, he said, I don't deserve to be saved, yet Lord, I am tired. So that means whatever the prerequisites are there that I have not been able to rise up to, but still the yearning is there, the longing is there, the keen aspiration is there to have you, at least for some time. അല്പമെന്നാകിലും വിശ്രമം കൊള്ളുകിൽ ധന്യമാം എന്നുടേ ജീവിതം ഓർക്കണി. എത്ര നാൾ ഇങ്ങനെ കാത്തിരിക്കുന്നു ഞാൻ. So when we read the inspiring articles, it touches and kindles so many things in us to keep it aflame, no? He has given us all these things. He has blessed us with so many such satsangs, so many such words of wisdom, inspiring words of wisdom. But since I don't fan it often properly, it is likely to get extinguished. In the good old days when we were using the smoke pipe to keep it aflame, whenever our morale is down, whenever we feel that the priority for remembering Lord is slowly getting diluted, I must do immediately something to charge myself, to energize myself, to vitalize myself. And such a thought-provoking, energizing article is what we have read today. He also says the prime, harmonize, you remember? Harmony at home, harmony at workplace, harmony with friends. This is spirituality. Whatever spiritual disciplines we have been prompted to undertake, ultimately it zeroes to what? Harmony. He says, we expect in God harmony, where all things meet together and are balanced, where there is perfect silence, and there is great beauty in that harmony and silence. There is peace, and where there is peace, there is joy. Try to be all this. Try to have a harmonious nature. Try to harmonize with others. Try to harmonize with life around you. Try to harmonize with conditions. If I go on harmonizing with others, if I adapt, adjust, accommodate, where will I be? I will become a zero. Spirituality, it has been given to us in a capsule form. Even if we forget the whole article, this word should keep on coming back, because it is a mantra for our workaday life, Harmony at home, harmony at workplace, harmony with friends. So he gives us testing, trying moments to learn this art of living. What is the art of living? Harmonizing with everything. I hold on to my views, but when it affects others, I harmonize with them. I remain steadfast, committed, firm in what is to be achieved, but when it affects others, I harmonize with them. We should try to understand where to draw the line. Tremendous joy you will get. It doesn't mean that we have to keep on compromising our stand. Holding on to our stand, which nobody knows. We shall hold it for ourselves. We will not compromise. But at the same time, ensure that Sarvabhuta Hiterata. We will ensure as far as possible that whatever words that come out, whatever actions I do, they do not become ahitakaram, detrimental to the interest of others. This is harmonizing. Harmony at home, harmony at workplace, harmony with friends. Because these are the three tires in life where God is making us to express ourselves. Family life, professional life, social life. In these three tires, if we have been able to maintain harmony, at the same time not compromising with anything else, that is the real spiritual life. These are the fundamental lessons we learn from masters. God does not expect us to become a Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. God does not expect us to become Chaitanya Gauranga Mahaprabhu. God does not expect us to become a Mirabai or a Prahlada or a Dhruva or a Markandeya or a Bhagirath. But He does expect us to try our best to approximate them, to go near them. No? Approximate means to go near them as much as possible, to live up to what is possible within our own self, within the limits of our own capacity. We may not become a Ramana Maharshi, but we may try to grow in the qualities that made him what he was. We may not be in a position to have the half self-sacrifice of a Ravana, who cut off his head and sacrificed it to Lord Shiva. But we must grow in self-sacrifice and self-denial. This is what is expected of each one of us. Having lived before us, they have left footprints of the sands of time. Therefore, try to emulate. We may not be able to duplicate them in scale and quality, but we can try to emulate. That is the meaning of idealism. We keep a lofty ideal, try to emulate that ideal. He brings out the name of Gandhiji, Vinobaji. So when we closely associate with the life and teachings of these masters, some incidents will definitely touch and kindle and awaken us. That is enough. It will have an impact. And thinking more and more about it. So whenever we act contrary to it, the mind will definitely point out. What is it that we have done in spite of hearing? Never lower your ideal. Overnight, one does not become a god. Growing into God nature is not a miracle. It is not a revolution. In rare exceptional cases, 1 in million, it may be. Otherwise, it is an evolutionary process. Slow, steady, by day and by night, even as the petals of a flower bud gradually unfold in the silence of the night. Unfelt, unobserved, unseen by man. One grows into divinity over a period of time through patient effort, unremitting, persevering effort, through sincerity and earnestness, through longing, through deep yearning for it, through much prayer and supplication at the feet of God. So everything has got a time. We can understand that. We all came out from the mother's womb, not immediately after conceiving, 9.5 months. We have shared with you the blossoming of coffees. For the sake of those who are hearing for the first time, we will repeat it. See, by the end of November, December, the buds will start coming out. And by January, it becomes conspicuous, explicit. And in February, March, it will be longing for rain. And when we get 1 inch rain, on the day we get exactly on the 9th day night, you don't have to look at the calendar. After 1 o'clock, midnight, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, by the time you open your door and see, the entire coffee plants would be bubbling with blossoming. It's a wonderful sight. But it takes 9.5 days, from the time it gets the rain. And then immediately the blossoming starts. It will invite the bees, a fragrance which cannot be explained. And the fragrance, through fragrance, they are invited. And they will come and sit and the pollination takes place. Within 2 hours, the pollination takes place. By evening, you will find everything is set. And the flowers which are fading, it will be on that fruit which are just born. It will keep it as a shade for a number of days. And then it takes 9.5 months, like all of us, to become a ripe berry. So when we look at it, what Swamiji says, suddenly we come to overnight one does not become God. Growing into God nature is not a miracle. It is not a revolution. In rare, exceptional cases, it may be otherwise. It is an evolutionary process. Slow, steady, by day and by night, even as the petals of a flower bud gradually unfold in the silence of the night, unfelt, unobserved, unseen by man. One grows into divinity over a period of time through patient effort, unremitting, persevering effort, through sincerity and earnestness, through longing, through deep yearning for it, through much prayer and supplication at the feet of God. These are all some of the clues which we have to register in our mind, so that we will not become impatient, we will not become restless. It is an evolutionary process. But here, one more is this. As soon as this takes place, it is not that we can neglect the coffee plant. Whatever cultural operations that are necessary in different periods during this 9.5 months, that also has to go. Otherwise, the crop will not be there, the fruit will not remain. So similarly, when we start, when we are on the spiritual path, the coffee plant teaches us, be persevering, be patient. At the same time, don't be negligent. Be alert. What are that are to be added onto it, that we have to keep on trying to do it. What is to be avoided has to be avoided. Yama and niyama, no? Do's and don'ts. Very inspiring article. And start where you are. Harmonize with your own spiritual family amongst whom God has ordained that you must live for your evolution. This is for us, especially people who are staying in ashram. Harmonize with your own spiritual family, amongst whom God has ordained that you must live for your evolution. The conditions that God has given you are the very best for you. He knows best, and therefore He has given you what is your necessity. This is a truth that has to be recognized. It requires humility to recognize the truth that God is right. I may be wrong, I may not understand, but God knows. And if He wants to change it, He knows how to. We need not be anxious that God may forget or that He may make a mistake. Thus, make use of the conditions He has given you. Harmonize with your own environment. Harmonize and cultivate love for the beings amongst whom, in His infinite wisdom, love and justice, He has placed you. If He wanted to do something else, He has the power in Him to do it. For He is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. One does not have to invite Him. You can call out, but you don't have to invite Him. He is already there. He is in the middle of the situation already. Therefore, in every factor that constitutes your present, here and now situation, start exercising loving kindness, patience, forbearance, tolerance, harmony, prayerfulness, and a keen appreciation of that which you have. This is something which we normally forget, The list comes what all we don't have. But instead of now, Swamiji is reminding us, list out what all you have. Right from the seed level up to this level, what all He has been providing to us. Did He ask us for us to put a petition? Did He not voluntarily give all these things out of His love for us? We have to go back to the seed level. The seed, when we were conceived by our mother, right from that moment, how He blessed us with 200 odd organs. When we came out, how He started providing what is basically, essentially required for us to exist. And also He provided, or He has been providing, to make our life comfortable. So that list will be definitely more, which we don't know. If the spiritual preceptor does not tell me, I will not know what I have been blessed with. The limited me and mine will keep on listing what I don't have. Others are having, I am not having. But the moment we meet a spiritual preceptor, the first and foremost thing he says is, how blessed you are. When Swami Vivekananda was in West, and when we went through his teachings, he roared, To be very frank with you, we never thought that there is an Upanishadic mantra like, Shunvandu Vishwe Amritasya Putra. Heirs of immortal bliss. Suddenly, you feel thrilled. I thought I was a pauper. But here he rose like a lion. Hey, listen, you are all heirs of immortal bliss. That means God has blessed us with everything, He is there right from the seed level. That is called immortal bliss, amritatvam, immortality. In the Upanishad, it is mentioned. Whether it is Upanishad or something. When we were drafting, we heard. A seed, normally when a seed, when it is sprouted, the seed dies. Dies means it loses its external form. But here, all of us, all the creation have come from that seed. Bijam mam sarvabhutanam. But it remains the same. It is immutable, not mutable. All other seeds we see, the moment it sprouts, the seed form goes. But here it is not. The seed form is retained throughout. That is why he said, Sunvandu Vishwe Amritasya Putraha. Heirs of immortal bliss. So as a spiritual sadhaka, it gives me an assurance. One day I will. May not be this, may not be next year, may not be next century, may not be in this birth, but definitely one day. Because I am his son, I am his product. I am entitled to become him. Just like a son inherits his father's property, I will also inherit one day. This is a great assurance that is given to us. So we try to bring all these into our mind so that we will not list what is not within us. We will try to keep on hammering what we have been blessed with, what all he has provided. So this is very important. We have to keep on remembering this. And here the advantage is the seed does not die. In others, the physical part of the seed dies and it exists through the plant, sprouted one. Again the fruition takes place. Again the seed comes. Again the seed sprouts, loses its form. But here it is not like that. He is ever, that is why he is an immortal seed. Right from day one of the creation of this universe, till this time, we know that he has been the base for everything. In Bhagavad Gita, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 slokas, He keeps on hammering this. I am the seed, I am the seed, I am the eternal seed of everything. So if we try to ponder over it deeply, not merely repeating the word, suddenly we become assured, I will one day inherit. Thus it is that God makes himself and his love manifest in your life. This you must recognize. Knowledge is God's love. Trials and tribulations are God's love. Scope for evolution is God's love. Facilities for spiritual progress is God's love. Life on the bank of Ganga is God's love. Life with the possibility of practicing yoga and Vedanta and Karma Yoga and meditation is God's love, His abundant love, His great love. It is His wealth also. The chance to utter His name is God's love. And more than anything else, spiritual fellowship with fellow sadhakas and devotees, such as you are at this moment experiencing, is God's great love. Is it ordinary to be put in the company of spiritual people? Is it ordinary to be put in the company of spiritual people, seekers, sadhakas, yogis, devotees of the Lord, lovers of righteousness, people with idealism and sattvic tendencies? It is heaven on earth. It is a gift of God. It is His abundant love being showered upon you. And the final parting word is also very touching, assuring, stimulating, vitalizing. May He bless you to recognize His blessings. He has been blessing us, but we are not aware. We are. This little I in us keeps on grumbling and complaining and makes us oblivious of what He has been giving to us right from day one of our existence. Beautiful. May He bless you to recognize His blessings. May He bless you to feel the abundance of His love and blessings enveloping you from all sides. God bless you to know how richly endowed you are and enable you to recognize these endowments, to rejoice in them, to put them to the very highest and the best use. So that is the message we are given today. Kindly let us keep on chewing it, masticating it. Do manana, trying to assimilate and absorb the theme as much as we can. It's a boost. It gives a push. Suddenly we become aware what all we have been blessed with. We were previously in the midst of those, but we were not aware. But such a forceful satsang makes us suddenly make us aware of what all we have been blessed with. Let us become aware of it. Let us make use of it, and we pray to Him to keep on blessing us, so that at no time we feel we are alone. For reasons known to Him, He has kept us the feeling that He and we are separate. So we pray to Him. It is all right. Let you and me be different, but let me always feel that you have been with me. You are leading me, guiding me, and you are taking me with you. That is enough. So let this prayer well up in our heart. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om.